qué fiebre hay.
Hey, what's up? It's Todd here in New York City with Owen, the main man. And I want to introduce a concept called the Secret Society. But it's not really mine to introduce because this was Owen's original idea about 14 years ago. So I'm going to let him present it to you in all its glory. So Owen, can you tell us what is the Secret Society? What's it all about?
Sure. So just coming off a boot camp here. Voice a little hoarse, you gotta excuse me. This was a concept that I started to formulate when I was about 22 years old. And I'd walk up to different girls, sometimes being kind of more straight edge or regular, and they would give me one type of feedback. And then I'd walk up kind of having fun and looking really indifferent, and I would get another type of feedback. Now, walking up normally, girls would say things to me like, oh God, to me, sex has value. You shouldn't just give it away. It's, I can't believe that some girls just do that. They just let themselves out. Oh my God. And then on the flip side, if I'd walk up just having fun, like everything's just no big deal. Nothing's a big deal at all. It's no big deal. And the major keys here being non-judgment and nobody will find out, okay? So you're not judging them and nobody's gonna know what they did. Then what I would see was this very, very different type of feedback to where the girls were so open about sex that it borders on almost like the girls like in some kind of swinger club, but she's not even in a swinger club. I mean, the things that they're doing, especially a young girl, say in college or college age, or even girls that are getting older that just are going crazy. I mean, it would just blow my mind because I just didn't know that was possible. So one experiment that I think any guy should try, and this is really off the wall, but just as a social experiment to see it, is go start chatting with a girl and just be like, girl, oh my God, you're so fab. Oh, you're amazing. Oh my God, girl, I am such a slut. Oh God, I sucked like 10 dicks this week. Oh, so many guys like shoved it in my ass, but I can't help it. I'm a slut. I'm so naughty. And watch what happens. Frequently the girl will be like, don't worry, you should hear what I did. And you're like, ah! like when you actually hear it, it's just unbelievable. And then if you literally just switch right back and act like you never said it and just start talking conservatively, all of a sudden the behavior is completely different. You're a dirty little whore.
I love you, you're fun. What's your name?
I knew a dirty little whore when I see one.
What's your name?
All you need is a little thing of peanut butter to rub on your dog to come and lick it.
I miss her so
I hope that you haven't been putting peanut butter there and enticing your dog, because that's illegal.
Hi, I got her gorgeous.
Kiss her.
I love
She
you.
needs it.
I'm married.
So it's crazy to me because it's not so much that I found the girls would hide it from beta males or guys who judge them or in situations where their social value would go down. But it's that what I was perceiving was a true cognitive dissonance where they don't even know what they're saying and are not aware of it themselves. So it's like there's two different programs that are taking place, two different parts of the brain that are being accessed. One part is the cool guys who get it, that sex is not a big deal, or their girlfriends who get it, that sex is not a big deal and won't judge them, or even their gay friends who view sex as not a big deal and won't judge them. And then there's this other part of their brain, which they've evolved, almost like a different section of the brain, which is evolved for beta males who will immediately judge them. Now, why do they do this? Very, very simple. Most women in my personal experience and opinion, and I'd like your opinion on this, I think I've had sex with around 40 guys by early to mid 20s. And I think that some of that could be like 80 to maybe 200. And sometimes it's like 12, 13, maybe 18, 19. And most guys by their early 20s, in my experience, have had sex with maybe 4 girls, maybe 6 or 7. What's your opinion, by the way, of how many men and women have been with? I'd be curious, your thoughts, because I'm just guessing.
I would say, I think your number's a little high, but I think that in general...
Whoa!
In general,
okay.
In general, though, yeah, I think the average woman has been with more guys, and then there are a few guys that have been with tons and tons and tons of women, and then most guys have been with very few.
Got it.
So the women's are definitely skewed upwards.
What do you think by 24?
By age 24
Yeah.
or about 24? By 24?
Yeah.
It depends. Some are like
Well,
some
it
are like
depends.
1
What's
or
your
2.
guess?
Some are like 100. It's all over the place.
What's your average? What's your opinion?
average? Actually, 6 or 7. Actually.
Oh, no way!
Actually, yes.
Really?
Actually, yes. Because I've
By
been with-
24.
No, I've been with a lot of girls
Yeah.
that like I'm literally their second or third, and they have no reason to lie to me on it. Like none.
So I guess what
None,
we found
not
out here
even
is
lying.
that Todd,
But-
follow Todd Valentine if you want to meet nice girls. Follow me if you want to, okay.
That said, though, even like the most innocent ones will become very, very different in their behavior around you when you secret society it up. 100% that. Right?
Okay.
And that's why a lot of girls, like, they haven't slept with guys, but then they sleep with me first night.
Got it.
Same exact reason.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going with 900 guys by the time they're 24. So I'm bucking the trend. And I mean, dude, this is controversial. I feel like they don't even remember it. I feel like they sleep with a guy like Evil Stifler. That shit just gets wiped out. It didn't happen. They have no idea. And I don't know. That's just me. That's my experience. Like, I just, like, my view of it is like this,
It
okay?
didn't count.
It didn't count, right? It's like
you and I, we forget most of the girls we sleep
that's what I'm
with, to be
saying.
fair. Like,
That's what I'm saying. It's and the thing is, like, okay, so say that a girl is, say, 16, she has sex for the first time. Then, maybe her second guy is like her boyfriend. That lasts like 2 years. Then she comes out of a relationship. Then it's like 6 or 7 guys over, say, a year and a half. Then she gets in her next relationship. That lasts a bit. Then it's like, 10 guys over a year and a half. Then next, like, it kind of goes like that. And they're shutting down so many dudes that you can't even call it a slut, because they will shut down more guys in a day than most guys shut down in a lifetime. So I can't even really say anything about it. I'm just saying that I feel that there's a different section of the brain, and I think that there's behaviors that you can elicit to be a part of that group. So something that I really take pride in is that if I'm relaxed enough around girls, and say the girl doesn't want to have sex the first night, or say that it even just takes a while on the first night, I love that a common response I get is like, I'm sorry for being weird. I know I'm acting so weird right now. And I'm like, oh, it's cool. But in the back of my mind, I'm like, holy shit, like, you're way better looking than me. I just met you, and you're apologizing to me for being weird for waiting more than 2 to 3 hours to have sex. That's amazing. That's so cool. And yet I doubt that girl would be apologizing to the beta male guy that she's trying to put into a relationship. For him, she'd be giving a different program, something probably more along the lines of like, I value my body. I wouldn't just sleep with somebody. I don't do that. And really, this is even key, because I think it goes even deeper as far as things like threesomes, where, like say that you get a girlfriend and you want to do threesomes with her, and then you're like, okay, this could be something fun for us to do. And oftentimes the girl will be like, she really likes you and you didn't introduce it soon enough. She's like, oh, I would never do that, And I'm like, why not? She's like, well, if it's not for a relationship, I would never even have sex. And then you're like, slow down. You've had like 4 or 5 fucking threesomes, and then you're trying to front that you're like Miss Fairy Princess who never did a threesome. You never made out with your friends. And you almost have to like pin her down and like really dig deep in to get a proper answer out of her, and she's even offended and outraged, because once you've been put in boyfriend category, she's now upset that all of a sudden you're talking about, God forbid, a threesome, which she would have done with a fucking club promoter. She would have done with some guy like at a foam cannon party in Cancun. She would have done that randomly drunk with her friends. They've had little orgies and stuff like that. Plus, we all know that every single woman's bathroom is just a giant orgy in the first place. So obviously 90% of things I said in this thing was true to me. The other part was fancy. So obviously, like it's just, I don't know. Like, and frankly, even once I have to get into discussion with a girl about that, I feel like I've already lost. Like, I've already even let it get to that fucking point. Whereas it almost should have been more like, we had sex, and now she's texting me pictures of her friends to come over and have sex with before it even gets to that weird conversation. But sometimes I fuck up, because like, I'll meet a girl I want to be in a relationship with, and I really like her, and I kind of buckle, and I'm like, I just really like you, and then later I'm like, oh man, now she's not gonna be able to kind of boot camp. I fucked up, so it's like, and then I have to bring it back up later. I call it the threesome river, where it's like, you think if you bring up threesomes later that you've built trust. Wrong. All that you've done is you built a dynamic that now you're gonna have to go backwards. So it's like you're going down an inner tube in a relationship, and there's like a fork in the road, right? I call that the threesome river and the non-threesome river.
It's the same thing for if you want an open relationship or multiple relationships, same thing too, right? If
Got
you get
it.
too close and try and go back. Same
Got
kind of
it.
thing.
Yeah, so what happens is you think that you're just stationary, but you're actually in this fucking inner tube going down a river. And if you didn't proactively go down the threesome river, now you've gone down the non-threesome river. And then when you're like, so, you've made out with friends before, like, let's go meet a girl. She's like, oh my God, how could you say that? You're gonna take your penis and just shove your penis in another woman right in front of me? That's disgusting. How dare you say, I love you? Why would you even say something like that? And then you're like, you had a fucking fivesome with the foam cannon party in Cancun with a guy that would not even be monogamous with you, and I'm willing to be your boyfriend, and you won't do that with me. So basically, you give the best of yourself But then of course it's like, that's not my best. My best is companionship. And you're like, I mean, I love your companionship, like I really do. But no red-blooded man in the world would agree with that, and they're lying to you, right? But I really love, but I do. I'm not diminishing the companionship. I'm like, you know, right? Like you just like, these girls are in this laundry machine of so much false feedback from men that are out competing each other by being like, I wouldn't need to do that with you. Then she's like, well, Steve over there wouldn't need to do a threesome. Why do you need it? Blah, blah, blah. And it's just like, oh my fucking God. Oh my fucking God. It's like, I'm talking to you. You're my girl. You're my best friend. Which part of my best friend's brain am I talking to right now? Do I need to take you out? Do I need to get the fucking foam cannon now? Do I need to take you out, spray you with the fucking foam cannon, start doing like the fucking limbo with you, get you pumped up, be like, make out, make out, make out, make out, make out, make out. It's like, it doesn't count. Now they're making out, and now you get her back. It's like, you got to game your own girlfriend. You've got to game her into that state retroactively, while it's basically like unwiring a fucking time bomb, because if you mistime this fucking thing, now you put your dick in the other girl and she's like, oh my God, you put your penis in another one. Dude, you fucking done this 5 other times. You did in Cancun with a guy you don't even know, who won't even fucking look. This is fucking bullshit. I'm not in the secret society, damn it. And she's like, what's the fucking secret society? Like, and you're like, it's from the pickup community. This Tyler guy in Central Park in a red jacket with Todd Valentine was ranting about it, and I'd like to be in it. You can't talk your way in logically to secret society, right? Like, I see these guys like, I want to convince my girlfriend into a threesome. Like, logically. I want to talk to that part of her brain in having a threesome. That's like going up to the girl on the street and get her to talk about all the crazy, dirty things that she did by talking logically. Like, let's talk logically. Like, how many guys did you fuck this week? And then she's like, well, I've only ever been with 4 guys. You're not even lying, because the part of your brain that's speaking right now is telling the truth. It's being so honest and so real, and it so believes what you're saying, and you could pass a lie detector test saying what you're saying right now, so I can't even be mad. But could I talk to the other part of your brain? No. All right, look, here's the foam cannon. Okay, here's some beer, and here's some music. Here's some Avicii music. Here's some lights. Now could we talk? Ah! Kiss, 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 kiss. Ah! Like this. Let's go. Make out. Like that, right? And it's funny. So you see like me in the videos, you in the videos doing these like double makeouts, and guys wonder how we're getting that. It's not by going up to the girl and being like, so, anyway, I'm really into the girl on girl. The girl on girl is very nice, right? Because it's a different part of the brain, right? Okay. This is something I've never done. I shouldn't admit this, because to some people I look cool and to some people I look lame. I've actually never eaten a girl's asshole out before, okay? I've just never done it. And I know that makes me kind of lame. I hope someday it dawns upon me to do that. It just never has. I don't know why.
I'm with you, actually.
You too?
I'm there too.
Okay, so we fucking suck shit. So basically, I've never done it. And the reason that I've never done it is because in my mind, the way that I picture it, but there's another side to it. The way that I picture it is like, you're just licking the shit out of a girl's ass. Like, I would pay money to avoid that behavior. Like it just anything on this earth, like between an asshole and the dirt or the rock, or like even your sleeve or the tree, I'll pick all those things before eating where shit comes out, right? And yet, why do a lot of people do it? And I get this, and that's why I hope someday I can stop being such a lame ass, even though like I really don't, but I really do, and I'm confused and I need help. So the reason why that's fun is because in a different frame of mind, of eroticism, it's different, right? It's like eating a girl's pussy. It's like when you're horny, it's gonna feel different than when you're in a logical state, right? When a logical state, like there's pee in there, even fucking a girl, right? Like remember when you're first like a little kid and you heard about sex, and you think you're being fucked with. You're like, okay, so you take where you pee and you put it where the girl pee. You're like, what's sick? Like my dad told me this when I was 4. I know that's fucked up, but I kept pestering. I was like, where do I come from, Dad? And they would say the stork. They're like, it's the stork. And I'm like, I know it's not the fucking stork. I'm not a fucking Smurf, Mom. Tell me where I came from. And my dad's like on the way to the carpet store. He's like, look, I'll fucking tell you. Shut the fuck up. And I'm like, what is it, Dad? And he's like, you know where you pee? Well, the girl pees. You put it in there. And I'm like, that's disgusting. Why the fuck would you say that, Dad? And then I told the other kids from school. He's like, don't tell them. I told them. And then they're like, you're fucking sick. What's wrong with you? And then in the 2nd grade, they all found out. I was like, I told you guys, you got to admit you're wrong, but they don't care. So, okay. Now, sex from a logical standpoint is disgusting. Logical, right? It's like there's juices and maybe a bit of pee in there. Right now you're going to lick it. It's just, what the fuck? But when you're horny, you're in a completely different frame of mind. So whenever I see people like eating out asshole, for example, I'm like, all right, clearly it's a frame of mind I don't get. Even, have you ever had a girl dominate on you before? Like a dom?
No.
Okay, I have had a limited experience with that, and I'm still not there yet. Like, I'm not ready to get like tied up and whipped and like all this stuff, right? I'm just not there yet. But I get it that there's a frame of mind that some guys, like, you know, like the overworked CEO, that they access where that behavior becomes desirable, okay? So my current girlfriend actually like knows that kind of thing, and she's like kind of whipped that out before when she was drinking. And it's funny because I was like, I hate this, but then I kind of started to access that a little bit, and I could see why guys like it and why they get addicted on it, but I haven't explored it further. So it's really just a different frame of mind. Now, the reason that I say that, aside from making some like bizarre stories just to make the video interesting, is that I think that girls, there's a frame of mind with which casual sex becomes desirable and which it does not, right? So say that a girl says to you, and this is why it's important, say that a girl says to you, you're gonna eat my ass, and then I'm gonna whip you and bite you. Now, when you're sitting here and you say, I don't want that, I don't wanna eat a turd, and I don't wanna get whipped. From a logical headspace, what you're saying you believe 100%. Now, from a different frame of mind, when you've met a girl out, you thought you might get her, you might not. You thought you might get her, you might not. She's got a tight body, she's got silky skin, she's got a nice apple ass, little thin waist, you're kissing her, she smells really good, off a little bit, maybe you don't get her, some other dude's talking to her, you're trying to make her jealous talking to girls, then you go back in, you tease her a bit, she chases you over here, you're not sure, the tension's building, there's this kind of transactional kind of element to where there's a tension that you're not sure quite what's gonna happen, you like her, then she kind of pulls away, that gets your adrenaline up, emotions are amplifying, you start making out, bam, you pull her out, you get her out to the pizza store, you're sitting in the pizza store, you're making out a little bit, and then she's like, no, go away, right? And you're like, shit, I'm gonna lose it, then you get it, then you get back to your house, you're making out with her, you're totally fucking turned on, there's no logical thought in your mind whatsoever, it's a sensorial experience, it's just amplified massively, you're completely in your body, not in your logical mind at all, you're just licking and touching and scratching and fucking and just all this kind of shit, and then you're just fucking down and like licking it, she just turns over just like, and you like just go in there, right? That's how licking a girl's ass would happen. Not like, so, would you like to lick where I take a crap? I'll try not to fart. I haven't eaten any gaseous foods today. It's completely different frame of mind. So with women, there's a different frame of, like, I'm using these extreme examples because girls, when you talk about casual sex from a logical standpoint, they are very much against it. They're like horrified. Like if you go on like the Viewer show like that, they're like, oh my God, no, I could never, like how dare you, you sick man, you sick, dirty man, naughty Todd Valentine, you naughty little man, you bad little boy, you need to get married, you little shit, right? And you're like, oh shit, but that same girl on The View has been to the foam party. She's sucked cocks. She's been in gangbangs. For sure she's been in a gangbang. And for sure been in fucking threes. Like maybe not 100%, but high likely. Like you got a gun pointed at your fucking head. You got to make the right choice. Has this girl been put in a train? Has this girl been in a threesome? The answer is yes. Yes, she has. And you've got to acknowledge that and realize you've got to get her in that frame of mind. And if she's in that frame of mind, she's in an erotic, charge up, and key is non-judgmental. Because what if that you're gonna eat that girl's ass, and then she's like, let me take a picture of you now, and I'm gonna post this on my Facebook for all your friends to see you licking my ass. So you're gonna look stupid, and I'm gonna tie you up, and I'm gonna put a ball in your mouth, and I'm gonna put a blindfold on you, and I'm gonna show your friends of you getting whipped, right? Well, now all of a sudden you're like, oh shit, fuck no. I don't want other girls seeing that. I don't want to look like a sub, like a little subby boy, right? Little sub. I don't want to look like that. But if you're just in the middle of it, there's no judgment. You're super horny. You're turned on. No one will know. It's completely in the heat of the moment, especially like from a girl's mentality when they're going in a guy's frame. It's a very different experience, right? I've never done it, but the point is I could see how it could happen. So while you or I haven't done it, we could understand it. By the way, we just lost like a third of our like viewership because there's gonna be a lot of guys in here like to eat ass and get like dominated. They're gonna be like, I don't relate to Todd and Tyler. I thought they were being whipped and shit. I want to learn. So we're sorry about that, and 100%. We're gonna try that, and we support you. Now, basically, okay, that's a wink. So, what you gotta understand is the girl's frame of mind is gonna dictate what answer you're gonna get, and it's even more so than that ass eating and dom example. It's actually much more so. It's much more pronounced than that in my experience. And so, continually, you've got to be somebody who's aiming to get that out of her. And I'll tell you what. When you try to do the logical thing, you try to like logically get to know her, I have as a man, I don't want to have to like get that out of her. I want to actually just be me and talk about like my values and the logical things that I like, and just have her like that and like logically choose me. But consistently, I have not found that to work, and I found consistently very high to work just being a fun guy, no judgment, having sex, and then getting to know each other while cuddling in bed afterwards when she's backwards rationalizing that decision. Because now it's like, well, now she's even more likely to want to get to know you and to really know who you are because you've had sex. To me, in this day and age, sex is like getting like a customer on your email list. It's not even a sale. That's like just being on an email list of someone she might consider seeing again, because it's not a big deal. And what you don't understand is that when you're around a dude for whom sex is no big deal, and you compare that to how you're acting, you can see why the girls are choosing that guy, and you can see how fucking stupid and pathetic you look. So whenever I'm around another gamer guy, and that dude is just chill and doesn't give a fuck, I actually can recognize my own neediness in a heightened form by the mirror of him. And I realize why it looks undesirable to the girl. And I realize why I'm making it too much of a big decision. You've got to make it a small decision, okay? So let me give it, you want me to go even more fucked up than the example I gave before? Sure. Okay, we're going to get even more fucked up. So I had a buddy who was on program this weekend. He's from New Zealand. And apparently, there's this Dan Bilzerian guy from New Zealand, and he's like, you know, everything in New Zealand's smaller than America, but down there, he's like the Dan Bilzerian of New Zealand. So my buddy started hanging out with this dude, and this guy's always trying to get him to tag team different girls. Now, my buddy would like kind of get with that for a bit, but then some people came to him and said, yo, that dude is trying to seduce you, bro. Don't be doing that gangbang shit with him, because he's going to try to seduce you. He's bisexual. And my buddy was like, whoa, well, I don't want to fuck that guy, so I'm good. Forget it. But what wound up happening was his buddy actually wound up fucking this dude. Now check out how he did it. This is kind of crazy. This dude, he's tag teaming this girl, and he gets behind the guy, and he grabs his balls, but he goes, it's just for pleasure. He's like, dude, just keep fucking her. It's just for pleasure. Now imagine you got this like perfect 10 girl, right? And this dude's help you to hook up with her. This girl you could never even normally talk to. You could never even approach, and you're having sex like a goddess. And then this dude just like graduates, like, dude, it's just for pleasure, just for pleasure. Now, personally, me, I'm not rolling with that. I'm sure you wouldn't either. But you could see how some guys would. For sure, you could see how some guys would fall into that. Now, it's just for pleasure, right? So now you're fucking her. It just feels good. You're not in the right frame of mind. Next thing you know, he's shoving his finger in his ass a little bit. He's like, it's just for pleasure, it's just for pleasure. And apparently, next thing you know, he's tagging him in the ass. So he's fucking this girl, and he's getting tagged in the ass. And why did that happen? Because this dude understood intuitively, it's just for pleasure. So you're taking out meaning, judgment, and big decisions or permanent decisions, and you're making it the small decision. You're making the seesaw pleasure or no pleasure and no judgment. Now, this may be the most fucked up video that we've recorded in our business right now. And it's shocking to think that we actually are financially successful, even releasing content this fucked up. And yet, on some level, you haven't stopped watching the video because you're wondering how fucked up it could get. Now, I would stop worrying about how fucked up it could get, and what I would start thinking about next is you joining the secret society. Now, how would you do it? Look, in the same way that if that New Zealand Dan Bilzerian dude was like, do you want to let me fuck you in the ass? Because if I fuck you in the ass, now you're homosexual when I fuck you in the ass. And the guy's like, whoa, but I'm not, right? It's cool that you are, but whoa, because I'm not. Well, instead, if you make it about just for pleasure, you're reframing the decision. Always reframe the decision. Take this whole, like, I'm a chode. I am courting you. Do we have the right compatibility to be together forever? I know that you've never been with anyone. I know that you wouldn't do threesomes because only the slutty girls do that and not a regular Disney princess like you. You're just special and different. Instead of doing that, you just make it fun, you make it chill, and you're somebody for whom that is normal. So the way the game is meant to work is that you walk up, and at first you don't know how to open. Like a lot of guys watching this, you don't even know how to walk up to a girl and start a conversation. That's really fucked up, and you need to fix that fucking now. But here's the good side. Right now, if you don't know how to walk up to a girl and start a conversation, I understand it's tough, it's rough, it's scary, right? The girls are scary and shit. I get it, okay? I make videos on it because I understand you're frightened. Now, from there, once you get acclimated to just opening girls, that becomes your reality. They're gonna open. You just know it's gonna open. In fact, one of the best frames I teach is it's already open. Makes no fucking sense, but I say it's already open. Just walk up to the girl like it's already open. Probably the best thing I could even say in this whole fucking video. Walk up to a girl with the mentality, it's already open. Now, once you do that, then it becomes normal that most girls you meet will open, and they just fly open. A lot of students are surprised when we walk up to girls, and the girls are just flying open on certain nights. It's because we expect it. From there, you have to make it part of your reality that they're going to say in chat, and then that becomes normal. Now, from there, I kind of fall in and out of this because I always have this like love-hate relationship with club makeouts or bar makeouts. Like sometimes I'm like loving it, I do it a few times a night, and then other times I go like 6 to 8 months without even doing it because I feel like it's just not the right time and place. But I fall in and out of love with the bar makeout. But the point is, like, I've had certain points in my game where I walked up and I just start kissing a lot of the girls that I approach because it just becomes normal, my reality. Now, the peaks of my game and the peaks of my cold approach experiences have been when I'm a single guy and it becomes normal, I'm gonna get laid when I go out. It actually becomes expected when I go out, I'm gonna get laid. And that's when I've had those experiences where I pull the second girl of the night and it's normal that we're just going home to have sex. You've got to normalize that. So to me, what that comes from when you normalize sex is where you don't judge the girl at all. It's completely normal. You're not making it into this like compatibility relationship thing. It's just this thing that happens. And they kind of feel it, like you're just the guy that they fuck. It's not a big deal. And by making it no big deal, no judgment, no social repercussions, again, no big deal. It's just fun. It's just for pleasure, okay? You want to be like the New Zealand Dan Bilzerian shoving your finger in the dude's ass. It's just for pleasure, except with girls, okay? That's an inspirational message for you. So you want to be like that, okay? I mean, really, if you think about it,
What he did is like exactly how you seduce a girl.
I mean,
Essentially, he
if you
just
think
did it
about
with
it,
a guy,
yeah. I mean, because if you could do that, well then shit, right? I mean, why is it that girls actually will fuck girls so much? Because it's no big deal. It's just for pleasure, and they don't get socially judged for it. So what you want to do is you want to make it to where it's just like a way to blow off steam. Like even pleasure in my mind might almost be, I mean, it's good, but it might almost be too much. Like I almost think of it as just like this thing at the end of the night that you kind of just do to blow off steam. It's like we went out, you met, you have a root, as they say in Australia, right? Just, oh, go have a root. You know, it's like smoking a joint for people who smoke weed, or smoking a cigarette, or, you know, having a drink. It's like, I just have a root, you know, just like, you hook up. It's cool. It's like you almost want to make the sex like it's not even sex. Like I've even done things like do like little zerberts on girls, like this, just make it silly. And the whole thing's so silly that you want to pull away all the seriousness out of the decision and make it this no big deal decision to where you basically just walk through life. You're never jealous. You're not jealous of anything. You're not taking anything too seriously. You're never mad. Everything's just upside. Everything is very light. It's a very light energy, a very fun, light, non-judgmental. Oh, we're going over here. And they feel like at any point they could leave. You wouldn't, like you'll let them out of the cave. At any point they could wander off. And you not only wouldn't mind if they wandered off, better yet, you wouldn't notice if they wandered off. Like the more that it can look like you wouldn't even remember what happened, and that basically to you it's just no big deal, the more that it doesn't count, the better. Now, is this the way all the time? No. Look, there's a million ways to seduce a girl. There's a million ways to have sex with a girl. Mm-hmm. This is just one of many. There's so many alternate ways, right? Because some people watch the video, they're like, well, you said this, and then Todd said this, and
a story on that, actually?
Sure, yeah.
So there are a lot of ways to seduce a girl. When I first started, picking up girls and whatnot, I actually slept with 60 girls before I ever pulled a girl home same night. Right? So, because I learned to do the whole, get a phone number, go on a date, do it. I learned to be really, really good at phone number, date, sex, right? Then I got good at, picking up girls and taking them home same night. But I had a weird thing, which is I wasn't very good in Vegas, weirdly enough. I was really good in every other city. I didn't do as well. I still got laid in Vegas. It's hard not to, right? But, I didn't do as well as I should have by any stretch of the imagination. And actually, one of the reasons I actually taught in Vegas for a while is I wanted to learn fucking Vegas game and perfect it. And then I got to the point where for about, a month or two straight, I was sleeping with 3 girls a week. Just every time I went out, I'd be pulling a girl back.
And you expected it, I bet.
Exactly. But the funny thing that happened along with that, expecting it, having it happen, was that was the first time ever where I had girls who blatantly did not want to see me again after having sex. Mm-hmm. Right? I had
want to see them again, they're almost disappointed.
Yeah, exactly. So I had a couple of weeks of girls just didn't take my number, and I just didn't care, right? But just as an experiment, I just wanted to see if they wanted to still. And so at the end I was like, hey, maybe we should exchange numbers in case I'm ever in your city or whatever. She's like, ew, no. After she'd been like, that was the most amazing, thank you so much, you made me come so much. I was like, what the fuck? What is this?
Most hot girls do have boyfriends too.
Yeah, very true, very true. I hate to think how many I've slept with that do.
Yeah, but it doesn't count. You didn't even fuck them.
Doesn't count. I wasn't even there. Nothing happened here. It was like that when we got here. Okay, so yeah, basically. But it was just very eye-opening for me. I was like, oh shit, that is a completely different paradigm. So I just wanted to validate the idea a little bit and give you a little
And how did you get it to where you could make them want to become your girlfriend after? I know the method I use. I call it the take it for breakfast method. I take it for breakfast. I make them have a super fun time. That's how I flip it.
I actually start it before the sex, right? So sometimes I will get up to the sex within a particular frame, which is talking about how we're special together and shit like that. And then sometimes I go up to the sex completely talking about how we're not special at all and I want nothing to do with her and just pushing her away the whole time. And definitely the second works better in Vegas, right? But it works less well for keeping a girl around. The first works better in other cities. Well, depends. They both work for the sex, but the other works better for keeping girls around after in other cities. If that makes sense. Yeah.
Got it. Okay, cool. So, I mean, I guess what I would cap off some practical steps. So I told a lot of crazy stories. I tried to tell off-the-wall stories to captivate the imagination and to trigger you to think a little bit differently. So that's why I tell those stories. I want to shake you a little bit out of your common ways of thinking, okay? Your kind of rigid thinking. I want you to think a little outside the box. So let's talk practical step. Let's make an exercise where for the next month, you're gonna keep it very light. And when you go out, you'll talk about nothing negative, you won't complain, and rather than feeling needy for women, just like look at the world, look at what's around you, your friends, everything you appreciate about your life, and just feel a strong sense of gratitude and happiness and peace and joy. And then when you see girls, rather than wanting something from them, just go up and share. Like, just go up to make them smile because you're in the frame that you're already sleeping with like half the girls on the planet, and you just want to share that joy with others because when you feel joyful, you want to share that joy. Just go up and share that joy. And then just think of ways that you could continue to hang out and say, oh, you know, like I like to do this, I like to do that. Yeah, maybe you could come. And then just bring them along. And then as you're walking, just be chill, light. And then when you see time to make out, and then just bring them back to your house. And just keeping it light, just enjoying conversation while you're kind of lying on the bed together. Usually they'll say, like, you know, do you want to have sex? Or you just start having sex. And just do that with a number of different girls over the month and make none of it a big deal. And don't allow sex to pull you around as this big deal, and view sex as just a way for people to chat, almost like having a coffee together or just like sharing energy. And really keep in mind too how much girls love to meet other girls, go down on other girls, make out with other girls. And when you meet those girls, try bringing multiple girls out. Try bringing out 5 or 7 different girls and doing things like a pajama party or just kind of like playing around or bring them all in the hot tub. Everything just fun and light, okay? Come from an overall frame of nothing's a big deal. It's all just fun. It's all just joyful. It's just like a cool way of relating and a nice thing to do in general. So pull all the meaning out of it and put it to just fun or casual or expected. Now, I don't think that this is always...
One other thing on that. Be willing to bring up sex in conversation. I don't mean go out of your way to bring up sex as an escalation. I don't mean like try and introduce it. But I mean when you're thinking a sexual thing, be willing to say it. Doesn't mean like, again, not making it a big deal, but be very, very willing to do it. Also, when you think, oh, I shouldn't say that because it's sexual, avoid that thought, right? You should. Just be completely and utterly natural with sex, both in terms of your feelings about it, but also with respect to willingness to bring it up and willingness to do those things, okay? Not trying overtly to bring them in, but not trying not to either.
Great. That's really good. And it's just being at ease with your own sexuality and owning your own sexuality. So from there, when you approach a girl, like this whole nerves thing is because you're making it into this weird thing, right? That's what's so sickening and repulsive about making it this nerve thing. Just share, right? It's that neediness and making meaning that's making you nervous and turning you a fucking creep. Just be the sharing guy. Now, as you sleep with different girls, you're gonna have this temptation of being like, well, maybe I'll make her my girlfriend. Just allow it to be. Just allow it to be whatever it organically is. Don't have an agenda. Make the agenda to just feel good emotions, right? Like you're the good emotion feeling guy. You're the non-jealous, non-judgmental, non-meaning making, chill guy who just has fun. And you don't have to be this guy forever. I think you could actually become a more serious guy who brings girls on dates in different phases of your dating career. I think there's many different ways to go about it, but at least have an understanding of the secret society, why it works, and really accessing the different part of the girl's brain. So whether or not you even get laid this month, I mean, that's you know, results will vary, depends on the level of, you know, your experience with this and how much you're willing to put into it. I think you get out of it what you put into it. But if nothing else this month, at least walk away with a solid understanding of how this other part of the girl's mind works, how to access it, and how to be that guy who gets the other side of the coin. I've said a lot of kind of extreme things in here to shake you up, and I've tried to get it to where things that would seem outrageous to normal people seem normal within the context of this video. So I've tried to make it a bit of a cartoon, and don't let how I made it into a cartoon become this thing to like beat yourself up, like, oh, I didn't get like the giant orgy. Oh my God, I'm failing. Like, it's not like that. I'm just trying to get you a little bit outside your box and help you get into a couple different girls' box and basically just trying to make it a fun, light experience. So, the secret society, you're in it or you're out. Are you a card-carrying member? Simple fact, do you judge? Do you have expectations? Are you needy? Do you make meaning out of sex that isn't there? Is it casual? Is it just fun? And is it something where the girl feels like she can open up that part of herself to you? I understand that it can make you angry. I understand it can fuck you up. But dude, once you join the secret society, none of it's really a big fucking deal. So you're only mad because you're not a part of it, right? Like, I can't take the truth because you're not part of it, okay?
One final point to conclude on, which is actually one that you made earlier. You said that when a girl has sex with a guy, she's in his frame, right? That's a very important point to this whole thing, I think, which is essentially if having sex with you is getting into your frame, think about what is your frame. If your frame is a judgmental, negative frame, it's gonna be very hard to have sex with her from this frame of judging sex negatively. If your frame is one where sex is casual, normal, fun, positive, it's gonna be a lot easier to get her into that frame and have sex with her. I think that's one of the big, factors that makes the secret society kind of function, right?
Women are highly adaptive. Whatever you are, they'll adapt to you. If you're judgmental, they'll give you evidence. If you're not judgmental, they'll give you evidence. They adapt to your beliefs.
Mm-hmm. Right, they want, if they like you enough to be even in the realm of wanting to have sex with you, they want to please you and live up to your expectations. So make sure your expectations are things that are helping you rather than hurting you.
Well, that's Owen and Todd from Real Social Dynamics, inviting you into the secret society. Join the club, grab a card, pick up a copy of Women so that you may join the secret society. Stop whacking off in tears and anger and judgment and come join the big, nasty foam party orgy. We'll see you there. Grab a copy of Women, highly recommended. Watch them develop it. Very excited for you to see it. We'll talk to you soon. Peace.
Suave. No, no, no. My,